In this video, we'll look at creating new layers in the Biodiversity and Climate Geoportal. To create new layers, you'll need to be logged in as a registered user, so if you're not yet, you can request to be registered using the register link. I'm a registered user already, so I'll sign in. First, let's create a layer by uploading an existing shapefile. In the Data menu, the Upload Layer link takes us to the Upload Layers page. From here, we can upload our data in a few different formats, including zipped shapefiles. Let's add a new layer from a zipped shapefile. We can drag and drop, or we can click Choose Files and navigate to the file or files we want to upload. Once we've identified our files, we'll click Upload Files. Small shapefiles should upload quickly. Larger ones might take some time, depending on your internet speed. If the upload is successful, it will be processed by the Geoportal, and the progress is tracked under Upload Status. If there's a problem with the upload, for example, if our data is corrupt, we might see an error message at this stage. We can remove the failed file with the Remove link. In our case, though, we've succeeded, so once our layer is processed, we should be able to see it in the Layers list. To go to the Layers list, we can click Explore Layers, or we can go via the Data menu. To remove a layer we've added, if we want to get rid of it, we can go to the Layers Resource page and choose Editing Tools, Remove. Next, let's take a look at creating a blank layer from scratch. So from the Data menu, this time we'll choose Create Layer. This will open a new page where we can provide a bit of information to create the new layer. First, let's give the layer a name with no spaces, and it should be unique. For example, small farms, small_farms. So no spaces, and then the layer title, we can include spaces, and this is what will be used for display and showing in map legends. So we can use an uppercase beginning and have a space and fill in like so, small farms. And finally, we need to choose a geometry type, either points, lines, or polygons. And in this case, we'll use polygons. Optionally, we can add attributes. So in this case, let's add a couple of attributes. Let's add farm name and farm type. So we'll click Create, and once the layer is created, we'll be taken to the Layers Resource page. And there we go, we've created a new layer, and we can add features to this layer, and we'll do that in another video in this series. So next, let's take a look at creating and editing metadata for a layer. So starting on the Layers Resource page, we'll use a wizard to fill in the layer's metadata. So we access the wizard by going to Editing Tools, and under Metadata, choosing Wizard. This opens a page with fields that we can fill in to describe our dataset. So note that the title comes from the title we added when we first created the layer. So let's add a description. For example, we can say small farms in PNG. Now notice that some fields are mandatory and they're highlighted in red. And the red status bar tells us that some mandatory metadata is missing. So we can save the metadata without filling this in, but it'll be marked as incomplete until we do. So let's set the category to Lands, Minerals, and Soil. And when we do, the status bar turns green, indicating that this tab is complete. So let's go to the next tab, Location and Licenses. So under License, if we know what license we want to use, we can fill this in here. If we don't know, we can put in Unknown. And for Source, this will be who created the data. So if the data has been provided by an organization, you can put their details here. If it's from an academic paper or a certain website, it's also sufficient to write the custodian of the dataset or the name of the website you got it from. In this case, we're working with a layer that we're building from scratch, so we can say something like local knowledge. Regions may be pre-populated, and you can customize this based on which regions are relevant for your data. Constraints and caveats. This is for further information about the license and sharing constraints if the data provider has stated them. If not, you can say none or unknown in this box, or you can leave it empty. To complete the metadata, click on Update at the bottom. You can also upload an external metadata file if you have one. So in Editing Tools, under Metadata, choose Upload Metadata. And it must be in one of the formats listed here. Once your metadata is complete, other people will be able to understand where your layer comes from and what they should keep in mind while they're using it.